Okay, I have three programs to tell you about today. These programs are awesome tools for collaboration and for taking notes and for doing your real-time lecturing. Right now, the three software I'm talking about is going to be Microsoft OneNote, Microsoft Whiteboard, and one of my most recent discoveries, Epic Pen. Right now, OneNote, I've spoke about that in the past. OneNote is pretty much the industry standard for note taking. I'll show you that now. So OneNote pretty much looks like this. This is some doodling that I was doing on OneNote, and primarily OneNote is for very structured notes. It works by having a notebook with chapters and pages, and as you can see, I have quite a bit of things in my OneNote. Now, if you happen to have a touch device with a pen, then OneNote becomes an excellent tool to make notes, right? And it's also a great tool for typing. It supports a lot of typing features featured in like Word and so forth. It also does very basic multiplication and addition. Right, 1 times 29 equals, right? So it's like this hybrid of all your Microsoft products combined with note taking. And even if you don't have a pen, you can always use the mouse. It's a little more clunky, but I always say when you have the mouse to make notes, you use a lot of the shapes, so you can get really quick arrows and shapes to illustrate things. It has a lot more going for it, but I'm just going to summarize it to say that it is primarily about structured notes and collaboration. Now, the collaboration aspect of OneNote, it works by sharing your notebook. Now, that may be an advantage or disadvantage for you. In my case, if I wanted to share just this page, OneNote wouldn't be the best program to do that, because if I share my notebook, then all of these chapters and pages will be shared, and you are currently unable to share a note, which is just how OneNote is structured. So if you were to collaborate in OneNote, you would basically create a new notebook and you would collaborate within that notebook, right? Now, the next program that I want to speak to you about is Whiteboard. And Whiteboard, it's right here. This is what it will look like when it's opened. And how Whiteboard works, it's almost like sticky notes combined with a whiteboard. You can make quick notes and collaborate and share instantly. It's not very structured like OneNote, so it's definitely for quick doodling and brainstorming and mind mapping and collaborative brainstorming. So I can give you an example of that. Now, if I open a new whiteboard, this is what it pretty much looks like. Again, if you have a pen, you can make all your notes. You can take all your notes there. If you don't have a pen, you can use the mouse as well. And I love the ruler feature in Whiteboard. I think it's pretty cool. You can really get a lot done with making some quick, especially in architecture, with that feature. Now, the great advantage with collaborating in in Whiteboard is the ability to share just this whiteboard instantly with other persons. Now, it's important to note that Whiteboard is currently only available for Windows 10 computers and Apple iPads. So it's not available for Android, and it's not available for Apple desktops and laptops, right? So let's say I wanted to share this with a fellow lecturer or a student, then I would just come to the share button, and generate a link. So do I want to share this? Yes. So I click that and it will give me a link. Now, once I get that link, I'm going to copy that link, and I could just distribute this link whether by email, WhatsApp. In this case, I'm going to demonstrate that by sending the link through Skype. I'm actually going to send it to myself. So if you take a look at this other computer now, you would see that I would receive a link, and when I click it, it will open up the same whiteboard that I had open. Now, these two users could be in two completely different locations, but the great advantage with this is the real-time collaboration. So if you notice, if you just keep your eyes on both computers, as I draw instantly, you can see the notes are instantly represented. So you can imagine the collaborative advantages of this. Whiteboard is quickly adaptable to cut and paste, so I could find an image on Google and I could just paste it here. That image would be instantly available for the other person, and both of us could be collaborating and making notes on both of the screens, as you can see there. So that is pretty cool. So that is one of the major advantages of Whiteboard. It is simple, real-time collaboration. You can share a board, great for mind mapping, and as far as I know, there is no limit to the amount of persons that can collaborate on a whiteboard. The whiteboards are automatically saved, and they're saved under your Windows login username. So you do have to sign in into a Microsoft account in order to collaborate in Whiteboard, right? Now, the last application I want to show you is one that's called Epic Pen, right? And Epic Pen, it's pretty much one of my most recent discoveries. And Epic Pen is essentially a program that the concept is it gives you a virtual transparent film over your computer screen, right? So when you're doing real-time lecturing now, not necessarily note-taking, but lecturing, it allows you to draw on the screen. Now, there's a lot of programs that allow you to take a screen clip of the screen, but not necessarily draw on the screen, right? So if I open the program here, by the way, the program is free for the basic. It doesn't have all the features, and the pro version is $25. It is well worth that money. I have it here, so if I open it up here, and I will just let's clear my screen here because I had some notes taken before. So pretty much when you open the program, it's just this icon there, and it sits on your screen. And what it allows you to do is to easily draw on the screen. So for example, I could make notes like that. I could change the color and like that. Now, this is pretty standard, but there are some real good advantages with this. So firstly, I can instantly switch to a whiteboard or blackboard, which you saw a while ago. So for example, I could, let's say I had a demonstration going on, maybe a video, and I'll just clear the screen here, and maybe within this video I wanted to highlight something real quick in the middle of my presentation. I could just highlight that here in the video. It's still there, so I can still play the video just the same. It's actually floating on the screen, right? And if I want to expound on this thing that I highlighted, I could just quickly go to a blackboard or whiteboard and, you know, make some additional notes about this thing, which kind of isolates it just for the purpose of note taking, and then you can quickly switch back. I think that's an awesome feature. You can go either white or black, right? In addition to this, there are simple shapes and arrows. So for example, I could be pointing at a particular thing. Now, the applications of this that I find as a real advantage is especially if you are using other applications, for example, architectural applications. And maybe you have a building on screen, maybe you're doing a tutorial and you want to quickly highlight something in real time. You could start talking about the menus. You could start making notes about that menu or highlighting different aspects there. And then you can switch to like a whiteboard and then, do further notes on it if you want. Now, even if you don't have a pen and you just have the mouse, the great thing is that you have shapes. So for example, I could draw like lines if I wanted to talk about maybe, something like that. And instead of writing, I could use my notes and I could make notes right here. I could move it around. I can take a screen clip. The great thing, if I close the app, so I can just minimize that and it goes away, and I can come back and put it back. So it's a great application for real-time note-taking on your screen, that you can do in the middle of whatever device, whatever computer device you have. And this now is available on Mac and on PC, as far as I know. Right? So those are the applications that I wanted to show you. I think they are great tools and they can be of great use to us, especially during this time when we have to be relying on remote learning.